So, the other day I was working on a super important project, right? And when I was getting ready to export, I thought to myself, I should make this bigger. But then literally immediately thought, but why should it be bigger?
Because bigger's always better, you turd.
Now, I'm a grown man, so I know that's not true. It's not the size of the twig that matters. What really matters is how you swing it. So anyways, I finished my project and it turned out absolutely fantastic. And I went back to my normal day-to-day life. But as the days went on, I could feel a glimpse of doubt growing in the back of my head. What if I was wrong? Had I been lied to my entire life? What if bigger is actually better? Over the past couple of months, I've noticed myself paying way more attention to resolution size than I normally do. And I think there is one main culprit, and that is the camera companies. With technology constantly improving and these companies feeling the need to put out cameras that shoot higher and higher resolutions, it's really easy to feel like you're getting left behind if you're still just shooting in 4K. So I normally shoot on my Lumix S5 and I also have the Atomos Ninja, which gives me the ability to shoot 6K RAW. And I've noticed that lately I always lean more towards shooting in 6K than I do 4K. But why? Is there actually a difference in image quality, or is it just my brain tricking me into thinking it looks better because it's a bigger number? That is what we're hopefully going to figure out today. Jesus. And real quick before we go any further, I did want to stop and say, if you guys are new here, welcome. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you're into filmmaking, camera gear, and just having a good time in general, please consider subscribing. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps me make more of these videos down the road. And I just want to say thank you guys in general. You've been absolutely amazing. I truly appreciate it. So thank you. Now let's get back to it. So one of the most stated reasons for shooting in a higher resolution is because it gives you the ability to punch in on your image without losing that much detail. But what if you're just shooting for YouTube, or you know that your final product is mainly going to be viewed on a little phone screen? So I definitely will admit that shooting in 6K for YouTube is way overkill. And that is exactly why I do it. So obviously I don't shoot everything for YouTube in 6K. That would just be absolutely ridiculous. But the main reason why I do shoot some of my stuff in 6K is because of compression. So normally you're gonna lose some definition when you upload to YouTube. But what I normally do is I downscale my 6K footage to 4K, and then I take that exported footage and upload that. And then even after YouTube's compression, you still end up with an image that has quite a bit of definition in it. But normally while I'm shooting that footage, I'm thinking to myself, why can't I just add a little bit of sharpening to my 4K footage before I upload it? And the answer to that question, you absolutely can do that. But the real question is, how close does it get you? Yes. Alrighty, so what I actually did to test this out was I shot the same image in 4K and 6K, put them right next to each other, used the same lens, same settings. All I did was adjust the exposure a little bit. But if you guys had to guess, how much do you think you would have to crop in on this image in order to see a difference? Maybe 200%? 300%? Well, as it turns out, for me, I had to crop in 400% in order to see a difference between these two images. You can see a little bit of difference in the sharpness in this tiger on this top of his head, and then also a little bit around his eyes, but it's really not that big of a difference. And the best part is, if you add just a tiny bit of sharpening, you can get this to look pretty close to the 6K footage. But you want to make sure you don't go too far with the sharpening, because you will start to get some wonky sharpening issues around the areas with high contrast. So like around his arm and a little bit on his shoulder, you can see it gets a little bit weird if you add too much sharpening, because no one likes an over sharpened bag of farts. And this whole video has been somewhat of a secret test as well, because it's got a bunch of 4K and 6K footage all intertwined together. And I think it'd be really hard to go through and pinpoint exactly which shot is which. But there is something special about that 6K raw footage that just feels different. And I cannot for the life of me put my finger on exactly what it is. Been trying to record this outside, and we got cold and snow yesterday, and then we got warm and sunny today, and tomorrow we'll have the apocalypse. And that's Ohio weather. So at the end of the day, do you really need 6 or 8K to create stunning images? No, absolutely not. Look at these two shots and tell me which one you think honestly looks better. There are a lot of things that are way more important than resolution size when it comes to shooting video. So if you're shooting in 12K and your camera settings are off and your lighting looks like a hot turd, you might as well be shooting on a potato. I catch myself thinking a lot of the times that if I only had this one piece of gear, things would look so much better, or if I could only have this one thing, I could get such better looking shots. But in reality, all that's doing is taking my focus away from the things that actually matter. Like making sure all my camera settings are right, or making sure my lighting makes sense, or trying to figure out the right way to relay the correct emotion for the story. Because in reality, making an image look good is really a combination of all these little things coming together. And learning all those little things and actually remembering to do them only comes with a lot of practice and a lot of time actually shooting. So as these camera companies continue to try and sell you on higher and higher resolution cameras, instead try and focus on just the basics and see how good of an image you can create with just the gear you have. Because if you tell yourself that your footage is never going to look that good because you're only shooting in 4K or hell, even 1080p, then you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. The more you go out and create, the better you'll actually get. And then when you get to shoot on a really nice camera, it'll actually be worth it. So no matter what you're shooting on, just go out there and be creative. Think out of the box, try and create something new, try and create something old, just try and create. Being creative gives you an opportunity to get out of your own head, and in today's society, that is a much needed thing. So go create. Now, with all that being said, I obviously still do enjoy nice new gear just as much as the next guy, and I would love to have a camera that shoots 8K, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from going out and shooting whatever I can. Good work will always speak for itself no matter what it's shot on. And I am also obviously not an expert when it comes to all the technical details with shooting in higher resolutions. I am just a random idiot. So if you really are interested in shooting in higher resolutions and all the technical specs that come along with that, go watch somebody else who actually knows what they're talking about. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to do all of the YouTube things, and please consider subscribing if you haven't yet. It does really mean a lot to me. I do truly appreciate all the support, so thank you guys. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I hope you have an absolutely fantastical day. And don't forget to enjoy all of life's random realities. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye now.